this week is going to be the last week for you to have an opportunity to join the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind in 2023. So I thought I would talk to you a little bit about some of the most common problems that women come into the Thrive After Infertility community looking to grow from, and problems that you might think you are going through alone, or you might think are unique to you because of the experiences you've had in your childless journey. And it's so important for me to let women know that what you are feeling is so common amongst this community. And I think that there is this misconception that you're doing it wrong, or that what you have endured is probably like something nobody would understand. And when I bring women together in the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind, I see how much relief women feel. And so I wanted to talk about what are the three most common things that we are navigating as women who are childless, not by choice. And most women that I talk to have an extraordinary amount of shame around their inability to get pregnant. But if we take that and even see where that comes from, a lot of that has to do with a lot of shame that you need help getting pregnant, so that you even couldn't have a baby on your own. So we carry around a lot of shame that we don't function like we think a woman is supposed to naturally function. And we think that it's just very like something that we need to hide behind our path of pursuing fertility treatments. And that's why a lot of us do it alone. We don't talk about it maybe to your employer. You might not talk about it amongst certain family members. And that's all good. Like nobody, I think, should be telling you that you need to talk about it. But when you go for this long period of time not talking about it, and then your journey comes to an end, you might feel like you have so much to process, but you have no one to process it with, because you have spent a lot of time keeping this a secret. And people probably don't know that you have had this journey even going on. And people in your workplace might know that you've, missed some work or have had some things going on, but you haven't been open with them. So you feel like you have to carry this heavy weight about navigating this feeling of shame that you didn't get pregnant like everyone else did, or that your journey needed assistance in this process. So I help a lot of women, and a lot of women come to me with an extraordinary amount of shame about their need for reproductive assistance. The next thing that I think is very common is for women to have a poor body image. And when we think about body image, we might think about women, comparing whether they're a size 2 to whether they're a size 14 to a size 26. And I'm not talking about body image about that, but I'm talking about living in a body where you feel very disconnected from. Your body image has changed so much from where you were before your infertility journey. And there's a lot of women that are struggling, maybe because their body feels different, moves differently, looks differently, maybe fits clothes differently than it used to. But you might also notice, and a lot of women come into the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind really wanting to reconnect with themselves, and really feeling as though they feel connected to who they are, because it's very common. You might not know this. You might think that you're the only one, but it is so common for women to turn their back on their body and just say, you know what? My body didn't do what it was supposed to do, or what it was designed to do. All these stories that have continuously come up in our mind. We tell ourselves that, you know what, body, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So I'm out. Like, I'm not taking care of you anymore. I'm not going to worry about what types of foods I'm putting in my body. I'm not going to worry about whether I'm exercising in order to keep a healthy heart or good bone density. If you're like me, I went on a strike from taking vitamins because I was so sick of every time I opened up my IVF drawer, seeing like my supplements and all my medications in that drawer. And so for a long time after my fertility journey ended, I didn't even want to take vitamins. So I created this relationship that I didn't even want to nourish my body because I was so disappointed with this image I had of what my body was doing or not doing for me. So if you're somebody who has struggled with body image and you can relate to that, know that Thrive After Infertility is like so aligned with you if you're trying to work through that. And then the third most common thing, and let me tell you, it was hard to narrow this down to three, but because this is, something that I don't want to, I could spend hours talking about those. But the third thing that I think a lot of women have struggled with and continue to struggle with is connection. So maybe it's feeling connected in your workplace. Maybe it's feeling connected with your friends that have kids or your friends that tell you that they're pregnant and you get these texts or these pregnancy announcements. And even though they come to you with the kindest of heart and maybe they know your journey and maybe it was hard for them to tell you this, but they felt like they needed to tell you that they were pregnant. If you're somebody who feels as though you're lacking connection in those areas in your life, or maybe feeling disconnected from family, or maybe you have a close cousin or somebody, a sister who becomes pregnant and you feel really disconnected to them because their journey led to somewhere that you thought yours would. We work a lot on that and a lot about feeling connection. And that's why the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind even exists, is because I think it is so important for us as women who have infertility and women who are childless, not by choice, that we have a place that we can feel connected. And that when you join the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind, you feel like you're finally like with your crew. You feel like you can show up to class and you feel like you can disclose these things that have been feeling really heavy to you and have felt like so unfair to you. And you can talk about them without worrying about censoring your words. Like, imagine how great that would feel. So if you've ever felt disconnected, if you've ever felt like your body image is something that you wish you could get back, like a positive body image, or if you've ever felt like you're just sick of feeling shameful because you felt like you did everything you could, but you still look at your journey and your story as something that carries a lot of shame for you, then I want to let you know that you are not alone. I want to let you know that the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind is the perfect place for you and it is where you belong. And you might hear about the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind and make excuses and say, like, I'm too busy for this, or I don't have money to spend on this, or I just don't know if this is the right time for me. And I want to tell you that those are all excuses that your brain is giving you because it probably is scared. It's scared because you have been on this journey for so long and feeling alone and isolated. And it's just trying to keep you from feeling like you might be an outsider. And you don't have to worry about being an outsider at the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind because it is created for somebody like you and wants you to be an insider. Like, I want you to be in my inside crew. Like, this is why I started it. And this is why I talk about it so much. And this is why I invite women in that I know are really wanting to see what it is that I can offer in the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind, because I don't believe that you aren't ready for this. I don't believe that money is a hindrance. And that doesn't mean that money is unlimited. And that doesn't mean that I don't have payment plans. And options for people that might not have the money right now. Like I make all those accommodations, but I can't make them unless I know that you want this for you. And if you've been telling yourself a bunch of excuses, I have no judgment about that. And don't feel like I'm invading you for that. Because I did it. I spent a long time. I spent years feeling as though my life had maxed out at 80%. And I spent a long time questioning what my purpose could be if my dream of motherhood wasn't coming true for me. And I didn't have these resources, and that is why I'm so passionate about creating them. So the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind applications close this week. And I don't want you to miss this opportunity because we are heading into a very turbulent time for women without children. If you are somebody who has watched the kids come to your door dressed in these cute little costumes at Halloween, and you have this pit in your stomach because you just envisioned that being you one day, or if you've ever looked at, cute family trick-or-treating together and they had this family themed outfit, or there were multiple families trick-or-treating together and it looked like they had such common bonds because they were parents and doing this fun stuff together, and you feel as though you'll never have that opportunity, then I understand that. And that's why joining Thrive, this last round of it for this year, is, in my opinion, some of the most gracious support that you're going to get. Also, when we think about Thanksgiving coming up, there's oftentimes holidays where you see people that you haven't seen in a really long time, and they might not know what's going on in your journey. And so it feels okay for them to ask you, when are you going to start popping out kids? Or come on, time is ticking. Like, how many times have you had a random aunt who you don't see often make a comment about your mom wanting to be a grandmother? And all you're thinking is, you have no clue what I've been going through. So the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind will allow you to start having those conversations and getting ideas together for how you can handle those conversations going into Thanksgiving. And then we're going to be together through the end of December. So think about having a support system as we go through the Christmas holiday. Because I don't know about you, I'm guessing if you're anything like me in the journey that I was on, you probably had or have a lot of sadness around the holidays because there's so many family traditions that our families passed down for us. And we always dreamed that we would have a family of our own to recreate these traditions in our own form, or maybe add to the family traditions. And the matching pajama onesie pictures that your family might take, or the pictures with Santa that you had so hoped to have a child to take to sit on Santa's lap. So that is exactly why I think joining the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind this last 3 months out of the year is probably some of the greatest support that you can get. So joining the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind is not anything that is a heavy lift for you. I have an application process. If you go to lanamanikowski.com/thrive, I have an application process because I want to know what you're seeking. And I want to know that what I can offer you in the Thrive After Infertility Mastermind is what you're wanting to receive. Because if I can't offer it to you, I don't want you to sign up and not get what you want out of it. And if I can't offer it to you, I will do my best to align you to other women I know in this community that might be better suited to help you along in whatever journey you're looking for that doesn't exist in Thrive. But you don't know unless you say yes to you. And saying yes to you may seem really scary because you have spent an extraordinary amount of time second guessing how life got here. And you felt like you didn't do anything wrong, and you felt like you followed the protocols, yet you feel like you're the only one to blame for this journey that you've been on. And I just want you to know that that doesn't have to feel so real to you forever. You don't deserve that. and you deserve to create a life where you are thriving and you're feeling fulfilled, even if that doesn't include children that you always dreamed of. So say yes to you and help me create even greater bonds for you by including you in this inner circle, because I want you in my circle. I am not somebody who wants to be exclusionary in this. I am somebody who wants to bring you in and make a greater community for all of us. And it can't become greater unless you are in it. So say yes to Thrive. Reach out to me. We can set up a quick call and talk about the things that you're craving, and we can talk about the things that we do in Thrive and all the things I offer in Thrive. So I hope to see you in there. Have a great day and reach out if you have any questions.